Good afternoon, everybody. We're very pleased to be here. My name is Christina Egan. I'm the Director of Transportation for Massachusetts. We are a coalition of 30 groups, over 30 groups across the state, that represent tens of thousands of residents. And we are working right now to secure more funding for transportation from Pittsfield to Provincetown and from Fitchburg to the South Coast. We also would like to make sure that any new funding that is secured is spent wisely and that it's accountable and transparent the way that we spend it. And by that we mean that we need to stabilize our transportation finances.
Regional transit authorities are really one of the true vehicles that we can actually cover the entire state. Usually we talk about Boston, the MBTA, but the regional transit authorities, including the one here and the ones across the Commonwealth, are the ones that transport people from their homes to their jobs.
Provide transit service to doctor's appointments for individuals, councils on aging, the Act of Opportunity, special education, transportation, and transit, to go food shopping for poor working families, and shuttle service to Boston and Worcester hospitals. Our ITAs are operating to the best of their ability. Something that I hope is going to be a reoccurring theme today is that we're underfunding the ITAs. We need to do a better job, certainly at the state level.
New infrastructure elsewhere when it's already here in place and often has excess capacity in our gateway cities. And we've got people in our gateway cities that are critical to the state's growth. Right now there's a little bit of slack in our labor market, but we know we're an aging state with a lot of baby boomers to replace, and the human talent is going to come from our gateway cities. Right now, 1 in 4 school-aged children in the state, in the entire Massachusetts, lives in a gateway city. And lastly, there are these unique urban markets in our gateway cities. For a long time, we didn't value urban areas. A lot of people thought even the biggest cities were dying and there was no use for them anymore. All of a sudden, big cities are the hottest thing. And we're talking about global cities in Boston and New York and Washington. Soon people are going to realize that small cities are just as important, just as viable, just as attractive of a place to live and work, and I think we're going to see the investment associated with that follow.
Most important is the money issue, that we didn't have our state assistance to our TAs. Representative Dinatelli indicated to you, has declined or at the best remained the same for 6, 7, 8 years. Therefore we had to cut our services to represent, but we did it in a judicial way, even though it is about 40–50% reduction in the revenue hours of bus running or van in our case also. But at the same time, our ridership hasn't declined, and he indicated there is an 8% decline in the ridership. In our cases, it was like about 17–18%, but we are gradually building it up by providing the services when it is needed, and the areas by switching from bus to van and other ways of economizing.
From the university standpoint, we are a business. We hear from students that if there was a better transportation system, they would have less reliance on cars. That's a given. I consider the train, I know it's not, it's MBTA in a partnership with Mo. If we had more frequency there, we would have more students taking that train on the Fitchburg corridor.